Welcome to the Teacher's Lounge, a podcast dedicated to providing real-life resources for early education professionals. The Teacher's Lounge is hosted by Noelle Dentino and Jessica Day. Together, they bring almost 50 years of combined experience in and out of the early education classroom, offering a wealth of knowledge and practical insights that you need now if you're in childcare. Whether you're a new assistant or making the leap from lead teacher to director, we have you covered. Join us as we delve into the unique challenges and opportunities of each role, sharing our experiences and expertise with practical tools to help you succeed. So, grab a cup of coffee or your favorite drink, and let's jump into the lounge.
Welcome back to the Teacher's Lounge. I'm Jessica, and today we're focusing on a topic that's essential for maintaining a professional and focused learning environment. Implementing and reinforcing the no cell phone policy in your childcare center. This is a topic that often sparks a lot of discussion, and rightfully so. In a world where we're constantly connected, setting boundaries around cell phones can delete. In a world where we're constantly connected, setting boundaries around cell phone use can be challenging, but it's crucial for the safety, well-being, and development of the children in our care. Today, we're going to explore how the assistant director at your center can use a podcast like the one on delete. Today, we're going to explore how the assistant director at your center can use a podcast like the one on understanding the no cell phone policy in early childhood education to effectively implement this policy during a staff meeting and make sure it sticks long after the meeting ends. I've put a link in the show notes for you. Let's dive into 3 practical strategies that can be employed to ensure that this policy is not only understood, but also respected and delete. That is not only understood, but also respected and adhered to by the entire team. Number 1, play the podcast as a foundation for discussion. The first strategy is to use the podcast as a foundation for structured discussion during a staff meeting. As an assistant director, you can start the meeting by playing the podcast for the entire team. This sets a neutral tone and ensures that everyone hears the same message about the importance of the no cell phone policy. It also helps to provide a consistent and clear explanation of why the policy exists, emphasizing points such as the safety of the children, maintaining professionalism, and preventing distractions. After playing the podcast, open up the floor for discussion. Encourage staff members to share their thoughts, concerns, and experiences related to cell phone use in the classroom. This is a great opportunity to address any misconceptions or resistance that might arise. For example, a teacher might express concern about missing an urgent call from a family member. This is your chance to reassure them that delete. This is your chance to reassure them by discussing the alternative communication methods mentioned in the podcast, such as having the office relay important messages. By engaging the staff in a conversation, you make the policy feel less top-down directive and make more delete. By engaging the staff in a conversation, you make the policy feel less like a top-down directive and more like a shared commitment by creating the best environment for the children. This collaborative approach can help to delete. By engaging the staff in a conversation, you make the delete. By engaging the staff in a conversation, you make the policy feel less like a top-down directive and more like a shared commitment to creating the best environment for the children. This collaborative approach can help to build buy-in and make it more likely that everyone will adhere to the policy. Number 2, reinforce the policy with visual reminders and ongoing communication. The second strategy involves reinforcing the policy with visual reminders and ongoing communication. After the staff meeting, consider creating visual aids that highlight the key points from the podcast. These could be posters placed in staff areas, reminders on bulletin boards, or even small cards that keep delete, or even small cards that teachers can keep in their classroom. The visuals should focus on the positive aspects of the policy, such as ensuring child safety, maintaining confidentiality, and enhancing teacher student interactions. These reminders serve as a constant reinforcement of the policy, helping to keep it top of mind for the staff members. Additionally, as the assistant director, you should continue to communicate the importance of this policy in your regular interactions with the team. For instance, during weekly check ins or informal conversations, you can ask teachers how they're finding the policy and if they've encountered any challenges in adhering to it. This ongoing dialogue not only reinforces the policy, but also shows that you're supportive and willing to help staff navigate any difficulties. It's essential that the team feels supported and that the policy is seen as part of your collective commitment to maintaining a safe and professional environment. Number 3, incorporate the policy into the onboarding process and performance reviews. The third strategy is to integrate the no cell phone policy into the onboarding process for new employees and into regular performance reviews. When new teachers join the team, make sure they listen to the podcast as part of their orientation. This sets the expectation from day one that no cell phone policy is delete. This sets the expectation from day one that the no cell phone policy is a critical part of your center's culture. During the onboarding process, take the time to discuss the policy in detail, ensuring that new hires understand the reason behind it and how it will be enforced. This might include walking them through scenarios where the policy comes into play, such as what to do if they need to communicate during work hours or how to handle emergencies using the center's established protocols. Additionally, incorporate adherence to the no cell phone policy into your regular performance reviews. This can be a point of discussion where you acknowledge those who are consistently following the policy and offer constructive feedback to those who might need improvement. By making the policy a part of both onboarding and ongoing evaluations, you send a clear message that it's not just a guideline, it's a standard of professionalism that's expected and valued. At a center we've talked to on office hours, the team was known for its dedication and care. However, like many centers, they faced challenges in maintaining a consistent level of engagement, especially with distractions like personal cell phones. The assistant director, Sarah, knew it was time to reinforce the center's no cell phone policy, but she wanted to do it in a way that they delete. The assistant director, Sarah, knew it was time to reinforce the center's no cell phone policy, but she wanted to do it in a way that didn't feel punitive or heavy handed. Sarah came across a podcast titled Understanding the No Cell Phone Policy in Early Childhood Education. She decided to use it as a tool during the upcoming staff meeting. Instead of just announcing the policy and expecting everyone to follow it, Sarah played the podcast for the team. As the team listened, the podcast explained the importance of being fully present for the children, maintaining a professional environment, and ensuring safety by minimizing distractions. The podcast also addressed common concerns like missing important personal calls and offered practical solutions, such as using the center's landline or having the office staff relay urgent messages. After the podcast ended, Sarah opened the floor for discussion. Teachers shared their thoughts and experiences, some admitting that they found it hard to stay off their phones, especially during quieter moments. Others expressed concerns about being unreachable in an emergency. Sarah took this opportunity to reassure them. She explained the center's protocols for handling emergencies and emphasized that the policy wasn't about being strict about delete. Sarah took this opportunity to reassure them. She explained the center's protocols for handling emergencies and emphasized that the policy wasn't about being strict, but about ensuring the best environment for the children. She also suggested creating a designated time during breaks for checking personal messages, which the staff appreciated. In the weeks that followed, Sarah noticed a positive shift in the team's behavior. Teachers were more engaged during activities, interactions with the children were richer, and the overall atmosphere in the center felt more focused. The team had embraced the policy not because it was enforced from the top down, but because they understood the reasons behind it and felt supported in following it. Using the podcast had gone more than just delete. Using the podcast had done more than just communicate a policy. It had opened up a dialogue, strengthened the team's commitment to their roles, and fostered a sense of unity and professionalism. The staff felt heard and valued, and this new level of understanding helped them work together more effectively, ultimately benefiting the children who cared. Ultimately benefiting the children they cared for every day. To sum it all up, the no cell phone policy is more than just a rule. It's a commitment to creating a safe, engaging, and professional environment for both the children and the staff. As an assistant director, your role in implementing and reinforcing this policy is crucial. By using the podcast as a foundation for discussion, reinforcing the policy with visual reminders and ongoing communication, and integrating it into the onboarding process and performance reviews, you can ensure that this policy becomes a part of the center's culture. Thank you for joining me today on the Early Education Teachers Lounge. I hope that Thank you for joining me today on the Teachers Lounge. I hope these strategies help you create a more focused and engaged environment for your child care center. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with your fellow educators and subscribe for more tips and strategies. Until next time, keep striving for excellence and creating the best possible experiences for your students.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of the Teachers Lounge. We're so grateful for your time and hope you found our discussion helpful and inspiring. Remember, you are doing an amazing job in the field of early education, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, take care, and we'll be back soon with more resources, insights, and inspirations to help you succeed. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on all our social medias to stay up to date on the latest happenings inside the lounge. Keep up the great work. We're cheering you on.